Corporals Corner midweek video number 31. The simple do-it-yourself Scotch-eyed auger. Let's get to it. Alright, let's go back in time here. 7 years ago when I lived in Washington, 7 years ago, just saying, I put out a video called the do-it-yourself Scotch-eyed auger, and I showed how to weld up an auger and take it out, and the kicker for that one was that you could remove the drill bits and interchange them and only carry one ring with you. The problem with that is it's a lot more intricate and you can lose that ring. Once you lose that ring, the drill bits are useless. So today I want to show you a simple method that you just take a simple black sprinkler pipe like this one right here. This is 3/4 diameter. All we're going to do here is cut the threads off, then cut it in half and simply weld a drill bit to it. And you got a simple 1/2 inch drill bit or a 7/8 1 inch drill bit to your liking, and you can just toss it into a pack, take it wherever you go. And from here we're going to drill a small hole in it, and that's optional. I've just found that dealing with welding and things like that, if you have a concavity or a bevel or something like that, the weld actually will take better. It actually will dig it out and replace the metal a lot easier and make it more long-term versus applying pressure on it over time and it cracks. So we're going to drill a small hole here and on this one as well. Pop the drill bit inside of it to where it's flush with the inside, and then weld her up. And looking inside here, you can actually see that it's flush with the inside of that pipe. So that worked out well. Let's flash back to 7 years ago. That video is on there. Just go ahead and YouTube search Corporals Corner do-it-yourself Scotch-eyed auger and you'll see it on there. And just like that video, I'll get the same questions. Can I use JB weld? Can I use Bondo? Can I use glue? None of that's going to work. You're going to have to weld this, either MIG weld, TIG weld, or flux core. Today we're going to use flux core. It's gasless. The gas is actually inside the wire, called flux. So we're going to use that process to weld a bead around the drill bit to my metal ring or piece of pipe. So there's our one pass right there. It's crude, but I want to show you something. See how the material goes here and then it thins out? I want to match it to here. So I'm just going to add a couple more passes and then we'll go back with the little flapper wheel and clean it up. Here's the reality of something like this. It's not, 1875. You're not laying a railroad track with hell on wheels and you're out there with Thomas Durant. The realities of you going out building log cabins and doing a bunch of woodworking things, other than for the nostalgia of it, are slim to none. Okay, most people don't carry Scotch-eyed augers with them unless they do old school woodworking, things like that. So the very fact that you want one of these means you're doing something like that, or you want to attempt something that was done long ago. The modern person will not do this. last step that I did when I cleaned them up with that flapper wheel, that's not needed. That's just something I want to do because I might want to paint these later, inside and out. That way it's got a nice coat on it. And the drill bit itself probably won't rust, but the pipe will. So once you weld on it, the black on the top of it, that's naturally there from when you buy it at the store, it burns away. So just cleaning it up, making it rough like that, and then spray painting it, make it last a little bit longer. But again, if you don't want to clean the weld up, don't clean the weld up. I just like to do that nice, you know, zero all the way down, like a pyramid slope, and make it nice and shiny because it looks more professional. And if you paint it, it's going to look real nice too. So now let's get out in the woods and get her done. And we'll go down about 1/3 in and do a stop cut. No more than 1/3. Just to make a flat surface on both of these. So I'm going to lay this down on here, flat on flat, and then we're going to drill through this one into this one, and then we're going to pin that bad boy with a wooden dowel. This one right here is almost the right size, so all we're going to do is just remove some of that material on the outside or the exterior and get this to where it fits snugly inside that pipe. Most of the time, just getting the bark off and it'll work. And there we go. All we did here is we rounded the top off. This is way longer than I want, but we can always cut it off later. I might pound it in there. Don't want to split the wood out. And it's going through. See that right there? Look at that. So here's our bipod and dowel connection. Open the legs up, makes it lower. So you see, do this again, we have the makings of an A-frame shelter. Throw one pole in between here like this, you now have a plow point shelter. So there's quite a few things you can do with this, and it's 100% cordless. Now imagine doing the same thing on the sides right here, popping a dowel in over there. Then you truly could have a structure that's built that's 100% cordless. So 100% viable, but do you want to be out there for long term, you being a human powered drill and sit out there and go like this all day? Probably not. When a piece of number 36, number 40 bank line, Bushcraft zip tie or arbor knot, one and done, and you're on to the next lashing. But it's cool to actually be out there and do something different. And in this case, you could make a completely, like I said, cordless shelter, or at least the structure is cordless. Furniture, things like that, fireplace, a little rocket stove, and it's all 100% viable. So something to think about. And these can be just a rough weld and leave them alone, or clean them up and then, you know, rust proof them with a nice coat of paint or that barbecue paint, whichever you prefer. So moving forward, I want to do things like this for midweek videos and then take them out in the woods and actually use them, and maybe even apply that to a solo overnighter. There's a lot of things coming up here in 2024. We have to get through all the BS first, and then once all the BS is done, and then everything's on the table, and in my opinion, nothing will be off limits. And then it's just whatever I'm capable of, I'm gonna go do. So on that note, let's end this bad boy off. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in 2 places. 1, my Amazon affiliate page, and 2, my Etsy store. Both links are found inside my description box. Now please do me that favor, hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm gonna catch you next time.